I'm so ashamed of myself. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm such a bad person.
No.
Yes, you are. You know, the thing about it is, drug addiction is just such a fucking fuck job on everybody around you. It's on you, it's on the children, it's on your family. You know, if it weren't for bad behavior and dumb decisions, I wouldn't have a job.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And he's gonna react to all the self-snitching. Oh.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, your board-certified criminal defense lawyer, here to give you all the cruel and unusual punishment that you deserve. In other words, a reaction from me. I'm coming to you with my pearl handle pistol cufflink so graciously gifted to me by our former content genius that you knew and I knew is Michael Rivers. Today we're reacting to a cocaine teacher gets arrested at work. This is a cold reaction. I haven't seen this. But, you know, it brings in the whole idea of workplace bullshit and the things you shouldn't do at work. Like drink, you shouldn't drink. Remember we did the teacher who got drunk and then tried to hide her alcohol? And then we got this guy, and then we got, you know, a cop. We had a cop who was on his off days, you know, kind of fondling little ladies. Fucking A. It just, you know, if it weren't for bad behavior and dumb decisions, I wouldn't have a job. Before we get to this is brought to you by, who's our sponsor? AskALawyer.com. Same folks that brought you eForm and eSign, which I both use actually on a routine basis. But eForms or AskALawyer.com is a very effective way for you to get the advice of a lawyer for almost nothing, $49. And you get a living, breathing human being. I know lawyers are human beings. Just ask my grandma. She's in the basement. I'm her grandson. And if you have a business, if you have a dispute with somebody, if somebody's going after you for something, if you're worried about something, and you need legal advice, go to AskALawyer.com. If you are doing your own thing and you are doing your own research, they have an AI component trained in all the 50 states, so go to AskALawyer.com. One of the reasons why this stuff is so popular is because we love to watch train wrecks, right? We love to see people get fucked up and, oh my God. I think it's the, oh my God, I'm glad that wasn't me factor, you know? Why do you think when we're driving down the freeway and we look and see an accident, you know, you got the Gawker slowdown? Well, grab your glass of wine and your little bag of popcorn and put your feet up and you and your little sweetie, your white wine, and let's get to it.
No, please help me. No, I haven't used it at school.
Where's her stuff?
She has cocaine in the building right now.
A substitute teacher accused of bringing cocaine into her middle school classroom and even using it right before class. 42-year-old Melissa Martin is now out of a job and facing felony charges. And police...
Well, first of all, Melanie, it looks like nothing from here up is real. You know, when you are involved with drugs, you don't give a shit about your priorities. You think, you know, it's like when people steal, for example. You know, oh, I'll just take a little bit of money and I'll put it back later. A few months goes by, nobody noticed. Oh, I'll just take a little bit more. Pretty soon, you know that you've stolen from your fucking employer $1 million. That happens all the time, and that is usually women, honestly. And the same thing can be said for drugs. I'll just do this a little bit, and then it becomes a fucking habit. And guess what? You fucked your life up.
And police say it wasn't a coworker or administrator who caught her, it was one of her own students. For the first time, we're seeing exactly what happened inside that Vermont school, captured on body cam. This is a story that has left a community in Vermont, and it might leave you in complete shock because it's about a substitute teacher allegedly busted at school with cocaine. And the body camera footage from that day shows officers walking into a scene that is tense, chaotic, and completely unexpected.
Please help me. No, I haven't used it at school.
She doesn't sound like she's fucked up, does she?
Where's her stuff?
She has cocaine in the building right now.
That's what I was curious about.
We're going. I just want her not to.
Yeah, there's no way she didn't do it here.
Yeah.
It sets on
No.
immediately.
I don't want to take possession of it. I want you to take possession of it.
You know, there's a thing called aggravating factors. So when you involve children in your crimes, if a kid finds your purse and all of a sudden you got dope in your purse, you're putting kids at risk. So that's one of the factors a judge would consider when determining bail or determining a sentence.
Upstairs and downstairs. I repeat, clear all the halls upstairs and downstairs.
Where is her stuff? Is it in the classroom? Is she a teacher here? So let's set the scene. It's the morning of October 1st, 2025 at the Berrytown Middle and Elementary School in Vermont. The school resource officer there is just doing his rounds in the hallway when a school employee frantically waves him down, telling him there is a substitute teacher inside who they believe is high on cocaine. Now, as you just saw,
How would you know they're high on cocaine? Specifically cocaine. People act differently in different situations. Sad to say that, Michael was on drugs quite a bit, and half the time I didn't know. But you got a teacher who's in charge of students. High.
the moment the officer walks in, he's stepping into a perfect storm. You have the teacher, Melissa Martin, clearly in some kind of medical distress, the school nurse trying to check her vitals, and the principal trying to explain an unbelievable situation that there's cocaine in the building right now in this teacher's pocket.
I'm so ashamed of myself. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm such a bad person.
No.
Yes, you are. You know, the thing about it is, drug addiction is just such a fucking fuck job on everybody around you. It's on you, it's on the children, it's on your family, you know, and you're going to jail. And here's the thing, jail may not even do it. You know, for some people it does. But for quite a few people, when you just can't stop.
You're not a bad person. You made an unfortunate choice.
No.
You're not a bad
I'm
person.
such a... No. What have I done? My whole idea... Oh my God.
So we've got
136.
136. I'm going to write that down for you. Oxygen is 98%. I'm sorry, what was that? 98% oxygen.
No. Oh my God, I don't know. I'm so sorry. I know. I'm so...
These things always manifest themselves in kind of a non... It's not like she's in the parking lot buying cocaine from a dealer. They didn't find it that way. It was, you know, she's... I don't know how they found it, but maybe they just found her purse. You know, a little kid was going through her purse or whatever and just finds it.
Oh my God, my family is going to be so...
So, did she show up like
What have
Hi,
I
Ted.
done? What have I done? Oh my God.
Are the kids in?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Let them get into the cafeteria, and then we are going into a clear the halls for the entire school. Okay? I don't know if the ambulance is
already
there or
on it.
not.
I'm already on it. You also.
Here's the other thing. This is a small town. And guess what? You can't fart in one part of the town where somebody doesn't smell it in the other part of town, and they know whose it is, you know? I've got a client that drives, right? And it's this tiny little town, and he doesn't have a license. The minute he gets in his car, anybody sees him, they call the cops. And, oh, by the way, sheriff knows you, and I mean, so you can't hide shit from these people in a small town.
Yep.
Oh my
I don't know.
God.
Did
my
you
God.
guys already send
No,
one?
I'm going to tell you why. It's your privacy. So that the ambulance can come and make sure that you're okay. It's your privacy.
She's saying she doesn't need one right now,
I want to go home. Oh my God.
but send them anyways, and she can just decline them when they get here.
Like, I have some...
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Leave your coat here at school.
And
Gigi.
She's pretty animated. Would you want that around your child at school?
Are you guys okay? Did you use it at
No,
Let's
please
go.
help me. Well,
that's
no, I haven't used it at school.
Where is her stuff?
She has cocaine in the building right now.
That's what I was curious about.
We're
Yeah.
going.
Well,
I just want her not to
there's
do
no
that.
way she didn't do it here.
Yeah.
It sets on
No.
immediately.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, if she did it like 2 hours ago, she wouldn't be acting like this. Cocaine is a very fast-acting drug. Not that I know it from personal experience, because I don't do drugs, and I've never. I tried pot one time in my freshman year of college, and oh my God, I went to play golf with my uncle. My uncle's 4 years older than me, and we played golf. I could not hit the fucking ball to save my life. I had like 10 divots around my ball, and each time I swung at the ball and couldn't hit it, I laughed harder than the time before. And it was fucking hilarious. And, you know, other than that, I just didn't really like the way it made me feel. And, but I've had so many clients, you know, wealthy clients, poor clients, you know, just no matter how much they had, you know, on the table, you know, in terms of their career, in terms of their money, in terms of their health. God damn it, I you know, it's going to take my health, it's going to take my freedom, it's going to take my money, but I have to have more of it, you know? It's just, I don't get it.
May I have your
I don't want to take possession of it. I want you to take possession of
all halls, upstairs and downstairs.
The officer moves down the hallway to the room where Martin was teaching. On the desk and chair, her jacket and backpack sit unattended. The alleged cocaine inside still a threat. The classroom is empty. No students, no supervising adult, but the danger is immediate.
Where is her stuff? Is it in the classroom? Is she a teacher here? No.
So now the cocaine is in her purse, unattended. I don't know why they would leave her purse unattended. That just seems stupid to me. I would have quarantined that purse ASAP. And it's not like, you know, methamphetamine or you know, anhydrous ammonia that you need to make methamphetamine with, or, you know, that all of a sudden you're in the presence of it, it's going to hurt you. But if a little kid got a hold of it and ingested it, that would be a problem.
Yeah. Yep, you can run it. Run it out, bud. Who is she? Oh my God. Erica to Kim. Thinking she was in his low, but Louise is her.
Yeah. Five, 573. I'm gonna slide over here.
I don't know if this is her stuff or not. She said it's in her jacket. That's a jacket. I'm not gonna touch it.
I'm not gonna touch it. No, I'm not gonna. I mean, give me a break. It's not like it's fucking, you know, a bomb that's gonna go off. I mean, really.
575, 573. You wanna slide over here? It's a chick, and she's like visibly high. Like, she's in Erica Pearson's office, like tweaking right now. I'm in the classroom where supposedly she had the coke.
People do really fucking strange things. I had a client, not a client, a buddy of mine, a colleague of mine. He's about to start a murder trial. He makes a thing out of making a private meeting with his client before the trial started. And they get a private meeting room, and all of a sudden he goes into the bathroom, and sheriff's deputy was in the bathroom at the same time, and finds little remnants of cocaine. So they search his bag, and they find fucking cocaine in his bag. I mean, this is a very prominent lawyer. And this is quite a few years ago, so I'm not talking out of school. And he wound up getting charged, and I probably got a favorable disposition. He's still practicing law, and he's a good guy, and he's sober now. But I mean, fucking hell, you're gonna do this just before you start a murder trial? That just goes to show you what a hold these drugs have on somebody. You know, I got another couple that, you know, he was working for the county as a county prosecutor, and she was the city attorney. they executed a search warrant on his home, and they had found all this blow in their house. It doesn't hold any discrimination as to your income level, your job title, or anything. You know, these people who are into drugs, sometimes they just can't stop until they get some intervention by law enforcement. And sometimes that law enforcement intervention saves lives.
I mean, she has it here. She didn't show up high. Like, she is, like, tweaking right now. Okay. All right, sounds good.
Officers continue piecing together this scene. They verify Martin's name, confirm where she lives, and coordinate with school staff about her medical
I wouldn't hire a teacher with tats all over themselves. I'm kind of joking. So if you have tats, no worries. I've got a tattoo too.
treatment. At the same time, the officer calls in a canine dog to sniff out the items.
What's her name?
Melissa Martin, and I believe
Something tells me she's not going to be substituting here again.
Something tells me that's probably the case.
Probably not anywhere.
The situation intensifies as officers describe Martin's behavior to the...
You know, that's another factor to consider. You know, if you hold a license, you know, I had a client who was a nurse, and she was stealing, you know, medication from the hospital. You can't do that. You're going to lose your license to practice. If you're a lawyer, if you're a doctor, if you're a teacher, if you're a police officer, you know, you hold these licenses, and you do anything and follow the law, you're going to lose your livelihood. So I guess you're going to have to go sell cars.
to the state's attorney and plan their next steps.
Hey, it's Officer Morse from the town, just looking to run something by one of the essays. Doing well. Calling with kind of an interesting one here. I assume there's some sort of criminal charge. My assumption would be reckless endangerment. We're at the school right now.
How about possession of narcotics?
I'm dealing with a teacher who brought and used cocaine at the school. She was a substitute teacher today, and she is like visibly high on a stimulant right now, like completely tweaking out. And she said that she brought and used cocaine here. We haven't actually found paraphernalia or anything yet. We're waiting for Leo to show up with his dog, and we're going to run on her stuff. Oh, I mean, cocaine sets in and like instantly. So it's not like she didn't use it here. She has said she used it at the school, yeah. I haven't interviewed her yet because she's dealing with nurses here right now. But she told the nurses that she used it here. And it seems like she's pretty forthcoming. Because I saw her briefly, but she's like absolutely tweaking. She said it's in her jacket pocket, which makes me think the drugs are left in the building. My thought is just leaving any drugs around children is reckless endangerment. But yeah, I was more curious because I mean, I'm not sure.
Reckless endangerment I'm okay with that. That's a fairly low-level case, really, depending upon the state. But the drug possession is really what carries some teeth, I think.
Sure how much she brought. I can't imagine she didn't use what she had. So I fully suspect at most we're going to find paraphernalia. And it's not like it's a DUI, so we can bring her up there for an evidentiary draw. So I wasn't sure if it reaches that level then or not. It's not a DUI, so how does that work when it's not a DUI, though? I mean, I can always see if she consents to an evidentiary draw, but I was at the school, and one of the teachers came down and told me to head upstairs. They were calling us anyways, but the school, like the principal's office, called us because I don't know how it came about yet that it became known that she was high, but like she is like absolutely tweaking. It wouldn't take a DRE to realize she's high.
A DRE is a drug recognition expert or evaluator. There's certain guys that are trained to notice certain different behaviors and link them to drug use. For example, if your eyes are, pupils are wide, oh, you're on Molly. Or, they also do the Romberg test. You know what the Romberg test is? That's where you count down, like, from 30. And then they actually, if you like, count, like, to 30 and it really only, like, and you estimate how much time has gone by. So, basically, the officer says, okay, 30, how much time has gone by? After like 30 seconds. And if you say like 12 seconds, then you know that your timing is off.
I mean, her heartbeat was also like 130, which is another indication, because I overheard the nurses saying that too. I'm almost certain, so it's lunchtime here right now, so all the kids are out to recess, and
all the kids are just running around with like a chicken with their head cut off. I don't know why.
frankly, cocaine, as I said, sets on almost immediately. The fact that it's recess time, the kids went outside, and that's when I get called. As I said, I haven't interviewed her yet because she's with the nurses right now and they're checking her out, and I'm in the classroom with their stuff because we don't want any kids coming in here and being around the drugs. But yeah, I'm almost certain she used the drugs in the school, and if that's the case, then they were in here around children.
They run the dog, it hits. Now officers are deciding whether to pull the jacket and backpack, get consent to search, or go for a warrant. The audio you're about to hear catches officers trying to piece together what happened, where Martin says she allegedly used the cocaine, how much, and just how close it came to happening inside the school.
What'd you say?
Trained drugs in here before.
These dogs are actually amazing, but they're not infallible. They fail quite a bit.
Jesus, let go. Have some manners.
I mean, she tried to.
So now you have to ask yourself, do they need a warrant? Well, they should just ask her. You know, I mean, consent, you don't need a warrant. And, you know, we had the dog hit on your case, on your clothes. Do you mind if we search your clothes? You've already admitted to using cocaine here at school, so you mind if we? And you, I guarantee you, she's gonna say, "No, I don't mind."
She told the EMTs again that she used it this morning, and he was like,
There's no way.
he was like, no, when? And she just said, I don't know. And then he said, how much? She said, I don't know. But she said, I just kept putting it on my tongue. So she was rubbing it in her gums and her tongue.
Okay. I just want to make sure it wasn't like in a bathroom somewhere and then in the trash.
Well, or right here. She's just,
Yeah.
yeah, there's the jug there.
Okay.
We call that a fun
Now,
dip.
will you go up to the hospital?
Is she going up to the hospital?
They just loaded her in the
Yeah, we'll go up there then. We'll try to interview her up there.
Make
And
some comments about
okay, we'll see if we can just get consent to search these things up there, and if not, we'll have to apply for a search warrant to search it. Now, is that her backpack there, or is that a student?
No, that's an emergency student backpack.
Okay, perfect.
And then the officer learned something shocking. It wasn't another teacher or staff member who first noticed Martin's behavior. It was a student who reported she appeared high.
Oh, the students did? How did it come into you
She's
guys?
quick with it. She's always.
Laura, student
She
sports
knows when
said,
she's
hey,
working. It's
and
like
something was
just
reported,
like,
No,
no,
that
and
was
I
it was quick.
was face to face with Melissa, and I'm like, something's off, and I got Erica.
And then I looked at her and said, what did you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
So the student.
I mean, how sad is that that a child has to be exposed to that? Honestly.
So the students, but they weren't already out to recess at that point?
No, an 8th grade student
No.
on his way stopped in.
No.
He was getting ready, they were getting ready to go, and he literally said she's high. But he also comes from a background in which he would be able to identify that.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, does he really? Oh, name of da. I love it how these, you know, somebody sent me a comment I read about overgeneralizing with somebody's name, Karen. And her name was Karen that left the comment. You know, if there are any Karens out there, you know, you guys are taking a bad fucking rap with that name, Karen. This sounds like a Karen to me. Oh, and he has a bad family. Oh, no. You know, get a little whiter, why don't you?
That's wild, isn't it?
And then when I saw her, it was obvious.
Oh,
to me.
it's completely obvious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I knew that it wasn't. Actually, I kind of thought maybe she had taken meth, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, usually when I take meth, that's how I act.
Yeah. Meth and coke are pretty
Yeah.
similar, both stimulants.
No.
so
But here's the thing. Maybe it was meth. I mean, maybe she thought she was doing cocaine and it was cut with something. I mean, here's the thing. That's the other reason why I would never try anything, because how the fuck do you know what you're getting? You don't. There's no honor in the drug trade. They don't give a shit. And what's been really more prevalent these days is what they call, it's third-degree murder here, but it's murder by giving somebody drugs, and then them, and especially like with fentanyl, because with fentanyl, it's so powerful.
With the classroom cleared and the evidence located, officers start preparing for the next step, talking to Melissa Martin herself. They head to the hospital where she's been brought in for evaluation, and what happens next, frankly, it's hard to watch. Body cam video captures Martin in clear distress as doctors and officers try to figure out exactly what she took and when.
Which room is the teacher in who's brought in that's high? The teacher who's high. B0?
B0.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's over here, isn't it?
Oh, great. No, it's right in the morning.
Oh, awesome.
There you go.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You got it.
Melissa, other than cocaine, have you used any other substances? Are you snorting or injecting?
Snorted. It's on my tongue.
Okay.
My boyfriend and I.
Glamorous, isn't it? Let's do some cocaine. I think that'd be a great idea. Let's just get fucked up and fuck our lives up and fuck our freedom up and fuck our pocketbook up and fuck up my career and, you know. Oh, it is hard to watch. It is hard to watch. You know, what's worse is when you have somebody in your life that's fucked up on drugs and you can't talk to them, you know, no matter what you do. You know, you try to watch them, you try to do this, you try to do that, and you can't fucking get to them. I think, you know, when I was a kid, my dad was a fireman, and he made us watch this video once. And we watched this person writhing on a stretcher from drugs and whatever. And it just scared the shit out of me, you know, and it scared the shit out of my sister when we were watching this. And he was talking to us about drugs. And I never once had an inkling to try drugs until my uncle had me smoke some pot. But that was only back then. God, that was 40 years ago.
Fighting. And he's like a narcissist. And he...
Honestly, if you have kids, have them watch this. You know, look at this as a fucking teacher. You know, she's ruined her life. All for what? Because she's addicted to drugs.
I stayed up all night looking for an apartment.
How much cocaine do you think you're using every day?
I don't know. Which I never tried it ever. So it just dumps. I'm worried about.
Now, I did a clinical rotation when I was driving an ambulance, and part of that was doing a stint in the ER, getting some training, right? These doctors don't have a whole lot of patience for people who do drugs because they clog up their emergency room and it's self-inflicted, and what the fuck is wrong with you?
Worried. I'm like, it's... Honey, I'm such a disappointment. I'm such a...
That's the other thing that drugs do to you. They deplete your self-esteem, because you know that people generally don't do drugs, you know. And if you're in that class of people who's always doing drugs, you know that you're on the fringe of society. You know you don't feel good about yourself.
Once at the hospital, the officer begins the formal part of the investigation. Martin is read her rights and questioned about what happened that morning. She maintains she never used cocaine on school grounds, but the officer, drawing on his experience and the timing of her visible impairment, presses her on the details, challenging her story and confronting the evidence head on.
So Melissa, I'm here for our aspect of this and our investigation into this, obviously. So I do have a couple of questions for you based on that. First, State's Attorney's Office wants me to read something to you, though. So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk with a lawyer and to have one present with you during questioning. You have the right to a lawyer to be present with you during questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you at public expense.
How do you not have this memorized as a cop? I suppose if you're a liaison, you're not arresting people very often. You know, a school liaison officer.
If you wish, in Vermont, that's called the public defender. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop questioning at any time. Do you understand those rights? Okay. Oh, all right. So, what exactly happened today? Will you tell me?
Knowing these rights in mind, are you willing to speak with me? That was the next question he was supposed to ask. But she's not in custody yet. She's in a hospital. She doesn't have handcuffs on. So Miranda only attaches when you are in custody and there's interrogation. We have interrogation, but my guess is she's not free to leave.
See my finger and Daddy and codeine to hang awake during the night. Look for an apartment.
So I overheard you talking with the doctor. You said you were fighting with your boyfriend and up all night last night. So you were trying to stay awake today at school. Is that what was happening?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Okay. And when at school and where in the school were you using the cocaine?
I didn't use it at the school
Uh-huh.
or in the school.
So I'm going to be honest with
I
you.
had it in my pocket, in my jacket.
Well, your jacket was in the school.
Right.
So, Melissa,
I wore my jacket into the school, but I didn't do any at school.
so there's still some in your jacket pocket?
It's, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's where.
So,
Now we're looking at it's 11:45. So you could probably figure about 45 minutes or so to get her to the hospital, roughly. But in school starts at what time? Like 8 o'clock maybe? 7:30, 8 o'clock, maybe 8:30. So 2.5 hours. You wouldn't be that tweaking that bad several hours into it.
Melissa, I've been in law enforcement for a little while, and I've been around people who have used drugs for a while. I know cocaine hits you pretty quickly, and I know it usually wears off in a couple hours. It was around 11 o'clock when this happened. So if you showed up today at 8 o'clock, which is the normal start time for the school, you wouldn't be visibly high right now if you hadn't used at the school.
I swear to God, I
So
not use at the school.
my assumption is the kids went out for a recess and lunch, and that's when it would have happened. Is that true?
No, they had the 8th grade came in, and one of the boys said Miss Melissa's high or left. No, a girl came back into the room and she goes,
Why are you twitching your feet like that? Can you try to stop doing that?
I have restless
Okay,
legs.
that's fine. That's fine.
My legs. I also have really bad anxiety.
Okay.
And my legs go all the time.
One thing that's really good for your anxiety is drug use, and creating a situation that creates more anxiety, because nothing helps anxiety than more anxiety.
Go all the time.
Despite her insistence that she hadn't used at school, officers search her jacket and backpack after a canine hits on both, pressing her about the student who first raised the alarm.
So you said one of the 8th graders came into the room, or did they see you out in the hallway?
No, I had that class. I was teaching that class, and one of the girls that was in the class came back into the classroom, and she's like, so-and-so, the student's name, said he's a little snitch. And I said, what are we talking about? And she goes, saying that you're high. And I was like, what? And I'm guessing he's probably saying it because my feet and my legs go. I can't stop it. It does it when I'm not on anything.
Okay.
I can't.
So what time would you say you used cocaine this morning?
I used it before I got to school.
Before you got to school?
Yeah.
Okay, like out in your
Like-
car, out at home? Where'd you use it?
No, like, I had used it in my car before I got to school.
Is there any in your car?
No.
So you used it in your car, and then you brought what you had left into the school?
Well, because I had it in my jacket pocket.
Okay.
And I had my jacket on, and I wore my jacket into the school, and
Okay.
I mean,
So if there's nothing left in her pocket, then what do we do? I mean, you don't have an amount of drugs to charge her with, right? So that's probably why he's talking reckless endangerment. But if she doesn't admit that she did it in the school, then she didn't bring. Here's the other thing: it is a crime to bring a separate crime to bring drugs into a correctional environment, for example, to bring it into a jail, and so to bring it into a school and expose these children to potential drug use. That's what the cop is talking about here. And that's why he's trying to build a case on that. Otherwise, you just have somebody that's high and you don't have the drugs to prove it. A lot of times you'll get the lowest level drug amount if they have some paraphernalia.
I didn't use any. I swear to God.
Where'd you get the cocaine from?
I found it.
You found it.
I found it. No, you didn't. You got it from his wife. No. I got it from your mom. Fuck you, copper. Fuck you. I want you to do this blow off my fucking tits. I mean, Jesus Christ. I love these. You know, I found it. Like you would just find it and do it. Give me a break.
You find it.
I don't want to discuss it. I'd like to not talk anymore.
Okay. All right. That's fine. So you don't have to talk other than answering this question. Frankly, you don't have to answer it. We're going to proceed regardless. So where we're at right now is we brought a canine into that classroom. We ran the canine around your stuff. The canine hit on both your backpack and your jacket. So you can either consent to us searching your jacket and your backpack, or what's going to happen is we're going to take them back to the police department. We're going to write a search warrant, and a judge will make a determination as to whether or not to grant that search warrant for the backpack and the jacket.
You can search my backpack. There's nothing in it.
Okay, and can I search the jacket too? Okay. So I assume in this dime bag is the cocaine?
So what then?
The dime bag?
Yeah.
That's it? Okay.
So even if she's used all the cocaine in the bag, there will be some residue in there. So that would be enough for a low-level felony offense. So the question has been asked, why would they need a warrant for that? I don't think they do, because I think there's reasonable grounds to say you got contraband right here. There's no reasonable expectation of privacy in your backpack or in your jacket once they take him into custody, because then they can do an inventory search of both. But they're offering that as kind of like a just to be safe.
Is it just a gram? Like 100 piece? Like 100 piece?
I don't know how much is in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No needles in this bag, is there?
As the interview goes on, the questions turn to how long she's been teaching, what she had in her bag, even the pills in her glasses case. And then the conversation shifts from a criminal investigation to a moment of crisis.
How long have you been doing substitute teaching for?
3.5 years.
That's quite a while. So you said there's nothing in your car? Okay, because we're going to run a canine around that car as well. And I'm not a canine guy, but I have heard that canines will alert theater narcotics if there's been narcotics in the car and there aren't any more. If that's the case, like for example, if you had cocaine in there this morning, the odor of that cocaine will linger in the car for far longer than a couple hours. So I do find it likely that a canine...
Kind of hit in my car, but like, I just told you.
Yeah, just based on the fact that it was in there this morning.
Oh my God.
Melissa, I'm just gonna take the cocaine and leave all the other stuff here. The hospital will hold on to it for you.
What are they gonna do to me? What's gonna happen
So-
to me? I'm upside down.
Melissa.
I don't want to go to jail.
Melissa, you're here for help. The hospital's gonna help you. So, based on the...
I'm sorry.
You're okay.
I
It's okay.
I'm scared.
So you're not going to jail right now. You're going to stay here, and I'm going to walk out the door in a couple minutes. So you're here to get help first. You taking care of yourself is the priority. Based on
Isn't that a poster child for let's do drugs? I mean, honestly, you're not going home. You're in a hospital. All your colleagues know that you're never coming back ever. You lost your teacher's license. All for what? Just because you stayed up the night before and you want to get high now?
your statements to the hospital staff, I have a feeling the hospital is going to ask you, or you might not even have a choice, frankly, based on your to them. They're probably going to want you to get checked out by Washington County Mental Health. Melissa, that's for the best. If you're going through some stuff, you want to get help. She came in for just a minute, and I'll be out of here in like 2 seconds. She just told me to grab her. I just need to drop paper on her.
No worries. Okay. Do you want help sitting up, Lauren?
After going through her belongings and talking through the events at school, the officer moves to wrap things up, explaining the charges and issuing a court citation.
So, Melissa, I'm just going to issue this to you, and then I'm going to get out of here, okay? Is there anyone you want me to contact for you? Just let them... Okay, I wasn't sure if you had like family or something you wanted to...
I don't want to face my...
No, that's totally fine. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't want somebody to know you were up here, because I can do that for you if you need. But so
We can also do it like later in a few hours or whatever.
Yeah. As I said, I'm leaving right now. So Melissa, what this is the citation to court right here. It's going to be for next Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, 255 North Main Street in Barrie. You're going to be charged with reckless endangerment and cocaine possession.
I can't tell you how many ERs I was in with Michael. How many times till like 2 in the morning. Finally, I look at the doctor and say, "Is he going to be okay?" And he'll be okay. And I'm like, "Fuck this! I'm leaving. I'm going home. He can wake up here alone." It just got to be that bad, And it's so sad when you see somebody and she's got nobody there, And this is now what, noon, their time, and she's just beside herself. And what happens is she gets charged with a low-level drug thing. And, go to treatment, keep it off your record. You won't have to do any jail time, just as long as you get fixed, basically.
So, at the time of it, you're going to show up...
Reckless endangerment?
Reckless endangerment for bringing drugs into a school is what that is. It's reckless because if a kid gets possession of those drugs, the kid could have serious health complications for that. And the drugs were left unattended in the classroom. So that was the reckless nature of it. So if you don't show up at that time and date, there will be a warrant for your arrest. You do understand that? Okay, will you sign acknowledging that you understand that? Okay.
Oh my God. Wait, what date is it?
A week later, Melissa Martin was back in public, this time inside a Washington County courtroom. The 42-year-old former substitute teacher stood before a judge and pleaded not guilty to 2 criminal charges: possession of cocaine and reckless endangerment. That second count tied to the drugs found in an unlocked 8th grade classroom. Martin was released on conditions including that she stay off school property.
When you get arrested for something like that, you get a trespass order. You can't go back to the school, no contact with the school. You're going to have a no-use condition, so they're going to test you. And, your lawyer should tell you, go get an evaluation, get into treatment, and successfully complete it, and I can probably keep this off your record if it's your first offense. And then if you do all that stuff, you do all the heavy lifting, the lawyer's job is easy. There's no issue about the guilt in this case, right? So it's just a matter of what's the right result. And it's just sad, when you see somebody suffering like that, because she really was suffering, but making dumb decisions like, let's use some cocaine, while the kids are at recess. Oh, God. Anyway, if you have a child, have them watch this, because somebody just ruined their life over just some drugs, And I mean, like, if you have a 12 or 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old, have them watch this, because it's powerful stuff. When we have children, they are like, when they're toddlers, we have them all the time, right? They're easy to control. The only thing we worry about is they're going to hit their head on something, right? But once they start getting some independence and start going out to parties and start going out to dances and start driving, they can't see what's around the corner. So somebody comes up with some fucking drugs, you know, they don't have any perspective. Say, this could really fuck me up. You got to educate them. You got to tell them the dangers of what's going on in the world, unfortunately. So this has been our little reaction to Cocaine Teacher High in the Classroom. So we'll see you next time here at Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Sign up for Patreon. Go to clrbrucerivers.com for all your merch needs because, you know, holidays are right around the corner, and Nick needs to buy his mom a new set of panties. So we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. 23-hour lockdown, please, is at my God.